I'm about to go to a book launch event. I'm very excited because the CEO of Blavity just came out with a new book and she be dropping gems. I just feel like she really knows how to speak to entrepreneurs. So I got my notebook ready. I got my power blazer on. I got heels on. So it's gonna be really fun. I'm excited. And I'm gonna take some vlogging clips. So let's go. I learned so many gems at the event yesterday, and I'm so glad that I went because I feel like I really needed it. I really got a lot of great lessons, and I'm really excited to share some of the 4 main lessons that I learned from the book launch. And for those who don't know, Morgan DeBaun is the CEO of Blavity Afrotech. I'm sure tons of other businesses, but she is an entrepreneur, and she was just dropping so many gems about business, about entrepreneurship. And I think that I'm just gonna share this knowledge because she wrote an amazing book. She really does tailor her content to the Black community. So I just resonate with everything that she says and I just soak it all in. One little tip I learned when I started to go to more networking events and panels, I started to bring a little notebook with me because I don't want to forget some of the things that I learned. And I have all the main lessons here that I learned at the book launch. So I'm really glad that I started to take notes. So the first main lesson that I learned is why not me? And Morgan kind of posed the question to saying to yourself, why not me to achieve these goals? Why not me to achieve these dreams? And I think that that is something that we have to ask ourselves throughout the process of if we're starting a business or if we're entrepreneurs or if we're creatives. Because I think sometimes we can have these goals and have these big dreams, but then think, you know, why me? Why should I do that? Why should I be the one to be on panels speaking or performing around the world? You know, so it's kind of like, why not you though? Like, why can't you be that? Why can't you be the one who's speaking on panels, you know, building these businesses and being an entrepreneur? Like, that is possible for you. And I really love that she posed that question because I think imposter syndrome is just running rampant through the creative community. And it really sucks because it's almost like we have to like understand our own worth and our own value to the spaces that we want to be in, because your voice is important, my voice is important. And if I don't acknowledge that and step into that power that I have, my business may not exist. So there's a lot of, I think, hurdles that we have to get through mentally to think, why not you? Why not you for these goals that you have? Like, you can achieve them and you have the tools to do it. The second main lesson that I learned really got a huge response from the crowd. There was literally an audible gasp, okay? So the second lesson, what would you regret not doing 10 years from now? When you think about your future self, what are some of those things that you would have wanted to accomplish by then? So I was thinking about that, and a lot of people in the crowd were like, yo, like, you're talking at me, okay? I was like, wow, I never really thought about that. But the way that I'm thinking about it now is like, okay, I have the tools to start the things that I don't want to regret. So why not start now and build, take those steps up to where you want to be? So if there's something that's been put on your heart to do or to accomplish, that is for a reason. And you don't want to look back 10 years from now and wish that you did that thing. Because who's to say that you're still going to have the same momentum, the same energy, the same ideas that you did 10 years into the future? So I think about that. I think about the things that I would regret doing. And a lot of it is around just expressing myself creatively. Some of the things that I would regret doing if I did not do it 10 years from now, I really want to come out with a music album. I just love music, and I feel like that's what I would regret not doing. I also want to star in a movie, main character energy, period. I also want to travel the world. I want to go to every single continent. I also want to buy a home. I also want to get married. I also want to have kids. I have a bunch of things on my bucket list that I want to do. Now, granted, it may not all happen in the 10-year span, but I'm laying the groundwork to at least having these goals and having these things in mind. So when I do think about myself 10 years into the future, I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm going to prioritize now. This is what I'm going to prioritize in my life right now. So 10 years into the future, I would have already started to lay the foundation and the groundwork for what I want to do. The third main lesson that resonated with me is to be flexible during the different seasons of your life. And Morgan kind of posed it as these different centers. So you have your work center and you have your life center. Your work center is your entrepreneurship, ventures, your actual work, your career. That is your work center. Your life center is your relationships, your friendships, family, personal life. So there's a balance between the two. And what she was saying was there may be periods in your life where you're more focused on one center. So maybe right now you're more focused on work, you're more focused on building a business, you're more focused on your entrepreneurship goals. Or there may be some of you who are more focused on life. You're more focused on your relationships, friendships, family, all of that. And so she was saying it's okay to be flexible between the two. Let's say you're more focused on work right now. It's okay if you don't have as much time or energy to put into some of your life center relationships. That doesn't mean that you don't focus on them at all or that this part of your life just completely goes away. But understandably, if you're focused on work, if you're focused on getting to these greater goals for yourself, we kind of have to be flexible on what we spend our time on and what we're focused on. I've personally found this really hard in the past, to be honest, because I feel like I want to be able to balance both. I want to be able to have great friendships, have great relationships, and have like a thriving career. I 100% feel like that is possible. She had a great point though, that you may be focused on one center in a season of your life and another center in a different season of your life. So be flexible with that. Be flexible on what you're focused on. The fourth main lesson that I learned from the talk and the conversation that they had is progress over perfection. Oh man, this hit me like a ton of bricks, okay? And Morgan was talking about it is better to strive for progress over perfection. And when you really think about that, when you really think about how life is just a journey, it's not necessarily a journey into being perfect. It's just a journey in your experience to experience the world. And I feel like if I continue to only strive for perfection, am I focused on my progress? I feel like if you glaze over the progress you make, you tend to forget how far you've come. And I know that I do this to myself a lot, and I'm really, really trying and working on it, is to say, I have to check in with myself and say, hey, you've done a lot of really cool things. I know I'm still striving to do these big, amazing things in life, but I've done some amazing things already. There's a lot of conversations to have around progress and how much it means to you to make progress in your life. I think we get told all the time that you have to be perfect. You have to get to the C-suite. You have to get to that CEO level. And it's like, you really don't have to. Like, you can really follow whatever path you want. And I think that what I've learned and the progress that I've made, yeah, I feel like my life is gonna look a lot differently than what I thought I was supposed to do when I got out of college. Being perfect doesn't really matter in the long run. It's more about your progress. If you're taking the progress towards creating this thing, that is so much more valuable. So for all my perfectionists out there, do not stop yourself from coming out with something just because it's not perfect. You're already making the progress on it, and eventually, hey, you want to put it out, right? You want to put that thing out, and you can either sit on it for 10 years or you can take the steps to actually releasing whatever that thing is. And I think that you will feel so much better to actually come out with that thing than to sit on it, let it collect dust when you know it's a great idea and you should just do it. I'm gonna leave you all with a quote from Morgan DeBaun's book. Definitely go check it out if you are an entrepreneur and you want to learn from her. I really feel like this is going to be a great book to add to your library. So the quote is, "Having it all isn't about achieving everything simultaneously. It's about understanding and accepting life unfolds in stages, each with its own set of opportunities and challenges." I really love that quote because I think it just kind of humanizes the human experience. Life is just different stages. You have different stages of your life, growth stages, stages where you're maybe at a little plateau, but that's okay. It's okay to sort of be in these peaks and valleys of life. It's just life. You know, sometimes we can't even really control it. I just feel like it's really important to know that even if you're in a place of life right now that you want to be different or want to change, things will change. Life is a series of stages. So where you're at right now is not where you're going to stay. It's not. Things are going to change. Things are going to manifest. And if you keep up that momentum, then you can get to those goals. You can get to those things that you want to do. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that this resonated with you, and I hope that all of the lessons are things that you can bring into your life and your journey. I feel like being an entrepreneur is just a journey of like self, to be honest, but I think that there's a lot of things that we can take from people who have written about it, who talk about it, etc. So I'm really glad to share these lessons with you all. Let me know in the comments if any of this has resonated with you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.